Barack Obama once famously said that there is no black America, there is no white America, there is only the United States of America. And to be quite honest, growing up as a kid, I honestly believed that. But I grew up in America, especially in the Deep South, where I learned that that was bullshit. Now, if you're an adult and you still believe that, boy, have I got something for you. And since I can't say it any better than the great Professor Black Truth, I'll let him take over.
Police eventually determined that this person was a 16-year-old who had been making contact with all three of the victims prior to the murders. His name is Caden Smith. Police obtained a search warrant and surveilled a relative's home that Smith was staying at. The home was right across the interstate from the murder scene. Police positioned themselves outside the home, and they made announcements for 10 minutes for Caden Smith to come out, but they got no reply. A standoff ensued. SWAT was called in. They used flashbang devices and shot out the bedroom window with a non-lethal device. They then sent a UAV into the home. During the search of the house, police found 2 guns on Smith's bed. Forensics would establish that one of the firearms was the weapon used in the triple murders. In addition to that, they found an assault rifle modifier, a plastic bag with unfired bullets, a bulletproof vest, more than 103 grams of methamphetamine, nearly 74 grams of marijuana, and several pills. In addition to that, police also found several cell phones, with internet searches such as, does freezing a gun remove DNA? Homicide lawyer costs? How long does it take police to get phone logs? And how many deaths is considered a mass murder? Smith would be arrested on a slew of charges, including 3 counts of felony murder, 3 counts of felony robbery, felony possession of methamphetamine, resisting law enforcement, and possession of marijuana. On a side note, you'll notice the lengths that the police went to avoid harming a triple murder suspect. Interesting how their training consistently makes it where they can arrest armed white suspects while consistently killing black unarmed citizens. Last month, Caden Smith's trial was supposed to begin, but the judge, Jennifer P. Harrison, suddenly decided to throw out the search warrant. She claimed that the search warrant was improper, even though another judge had signed off on it. The excuse she was using was that Smith's lawyer claimed the police couldn't have known that the murder weapon was in Smith's bedroom. The judge also announced that she was going to suppress the murder weapon, which is the key evidence linking Caden Smith to the murders. The Marion County DA's office has filed an appeal, and they've obtained a stay on the case until the appeal is heard. In the meanwhile, Judge Harrison ordered that the killer be released from custody, and that all he has to do is wear an ankle monitor pending trial, and he has no restrictions other than he can't leave the state. Now, this judge clearly didn't make this decision based on the law or how clearly dangerous this animal is or the facts of the case. She made her decision based on something else. Well, that was last month, and just to show how stupid this judge was, just last week, the day before Thanksgiving no less, Caden Smith was arrested. Again.
Tonight we're getting our first look at the Snapchat post that landed a murder suspect back in jail.
On the day Caden Smith turned 18, police obtained a search warrant for a house he was hanging out at. According to new court documents, police found guns, drugs, and ammunition. In the arresting documents, a detective wrote that Smith was ordered to, quote, have no firearms, deadly weapons, or ammunition in his possession. But during a search warrant last week, police claim they found multiple guns. Detectives also obtained this photo from early November of what police say appears to be Smith holding a handgun and a GPS monitor around his ankle.
Did you get all that? This guy resumed breaking the law the moment he got home from court. He didn't even wait a full day before he went right back to committing crimes. Police found this guy still got guns around him, one of them stolen. He's found with a ton of contraband. And he's taken video and photos of himself smoking weed, holding guns, and posting this on the internet as he prepares to return to his life of selling drugs. This is who the corrupt Judge Jennifer Harrison saw fit to put back out on the streets. This is the person who she claims rights were violated. The judge has ruled that this accused killer be held without bond for now. But this only applies to his violating his release conditions, because he's scheduled to be released again on December 9th, unless prosecutors can convince the judge that he'll break the terms of his release a second time. That's right. This accused triple killer is going to be released again. Judges like Jennifer Harrison are on code when it comes to racial immunity from law. She understands her purpose in the courtroom is not to interpret the law, but to maintain a racial double standard. So when Judge Harrison saw this killer in her court being charged with triple murder, the only thing she saw was someone with the right skin color being accused of killing 3 black people, and she decided right then and there she wouldn't allow it. Laws be damned. There's a 2-tier judicial system in America, and people like Jennifer Harrison are upholding that racial double standard. Had Caden Smith been black and his victims white, does anyone seriously believe that this judge or any judge would have released him under any circumstances? We have a lot of mysterious killings of black people in America that go completely unsolved. You hear about them almost on a daily basis. The police and the white media push the phony narrative that these are all black-on-black crimes, even though they don't have a suspect. They don't know who's committing them, but they claim, well, that's who's doing it. JonBenet Ramsey was certainly murdered by another white person, as was Natalee Holloway. But no one in the white media has ever called that white-on-white crime. Back in June, I told you about another triple murder. One of the victims was a 6-year-old named Tyrese Moore. The white media fanned the flames of black-on-black crime. And, in the absence of any other evidence or information, the black community in that area blamed themselves. And then the real murderer was arrested and charged. He wasn't black, but the white media was completely and thoroughly unconcerned with that. The main lesson to be taken away from this crime is that letting the white media focus you on the wrong killers allows the right killers to walk scot-free. Well, that and corrupt judges who ignore the law.